Davis, and this is my report on drones and drone technology. Let's take a look at the early development of drones. The first reported drone was used by the military in 1849. Austrians used ship-launched balloons to bomb a city in Italy. Then, shortly after World War I, the first radio-controlled vehicle was used against Zeppelin aircraft. The Hewitt Spray automatic airplane was called the Flying Bomb and made its first demonstration of an unmanned aircraft. In the 1930s, Reginald Denny came to the U.S. to open a hobby shop. He began making radio-controlled airplanes that he demonstrated to the U.S. Army to use for training targets for anti-aircraft guns. This proved to be very useful for the military in training their gunners. During the same time, the U.S. Navy was also experimenting with radio-controlled aircraft for their own uses. World War II saw the use for radio-controlled bombers as aerial torpedoes. An early model television camera was mounted into these drones, combining two state-of-the-art technologies. When the U.S. government wanted to receive data from nuclear bomb tests, they outfitted B-17s as radio-controlled drones to fly into the radioactive cloud. Today, people see drones as almost entirely in their role as strike aircraft for the military. But the drones are mostly used for surveillance in order to safely determine military targets. Only when a target is identified are they used for attack purposes. There are several types of drones being used in the U.S. military. The most recognizable drone is probably the Reaper. The Reaper is the first drone designed for long flight time and has the ability to attack targets almost anywhere in the world. Drones aren't just huge aircraft, they can also be the size of a model toy. The Raven is a small handheld UAV that can be launched and controlled from a soldier in the field, giving them the ability to see what is beyond their line of sight. Drones can also be driven on the ground. The Terramax is about the same size as a commercial truck. It can be driven by a human driver or remotely controlled. It is meant for all types of terrain. It can also take over and drive by itself if the driver is wounded or unable to control the truck. Remote-controlled airplanes used by hobbyists are also considered drones. These go far beyond being just toys. They use GPS and live camera views and sophisticated electronics to give amazing control over their flight. These small drones are also used by law enforcement and business for commercial uses. Let's take a look at some of the data I've collected from interviewing my classmates considering what they know about drones. I first asked if the Border Patrol should use drones to monitor the border. 54% said yes, 36% said no, and 9% said maybe. Question number 2 was if the military should use drones. 81% said yes, 13% no, and 1% said maybe. The next chart shows when people think drones were made and used for the first time. As you can see, the breakdown is very small for each answer. The actual answer is 1987. I asked if my classmates liked drones. You can see that 44% said they did, and 56% said they did not. And when I asked if the police should use drones, 28% said yes, and 68% said no, and 1% said maybe. I was not surprised that so many people said no, because there are many protests going on about privacy issues. My final question was what type of drone was their favorite. 85% of the class chose a type of plane, 7% said a type of submarine, and 7% said a type of boat. My final thought on drones is to clear up the idea that drones are going to become some sort of out-of-control Terminator-type robot. The thing about drones is that they cannot do anything without a human operator behind it. They will always be able to be turned off through a kill switch or shut down when not in use. Drones are a tool that can be used any way we want them to. They can be used to save lives just as easily as they are used in combat. Drones will be used more and more as technology finds new ways to use them. They can be used in a safe and effective way to solve problems and conflicts that face us every day. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.